So let's talk about self-trust. How you can learn to trust yourself, and what is the reason that you can't trust yourself sometimes. If this is the first time that we meet, I'm Jonas Erb, and on this channel we talk about authenticity and personal growth. We provide tools and ideas that help you gain clarity, freedom, and fulfillment in your life. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing. So let's talk about what is trust. Trust means that you trust yourself, you know about your ability to handle any situation. If you fully and 100% trust yourself, you know that you're able to deal with any situation. But if you don't trust yourself, you believe that some situations you cannot handle, this is not trusting yourself. And so, how can we learn to trust ourselves, and what does it actually mean to be able to handle a situation? So, what's really happening is, if you, in certain situations, you don't trust yourself, you're able to handle the situation, what it actually means is like, you're not sure if you can handle the emotions and the thoughts that are coming up in that situation. You're not able to deal with what's happening inside of yourself. It's not the actual situation, like the physical situation, it's your ability to deal with yourself in the situation. So let's take a couple of examples for you to understand that better. So let's say you don't fully trust yourself in relationships. Maybe you trust yourself to get to know a girl or a guy and get into a relationship, but then once you are in the relationship, you're jealous, or you're afraid to lose the person, and so on. And what's happening there is like you're afraid that you cannot handle the emotions that are coming up in a relationship. Let's say the jealousy, let's say what happens if she or he breaks up, and so on. You're not able to deal with those things, and that's lacking self-trust. And so what you can do is you can start to learn to, and first of all, see where, in which areas of your life don't you trust yourself. Where do you feel that you cannot handle the situations? Let's take some other examples. Let's say you're at work and you take on a new position, and there you might have to hold a speech in front of a lot of people. And you don't trust yourself that you can handle the situations in those moments. You cannot handle the tension of all the people looking at you. You cannot ground out this fear of like, what are people going to think of me, and so on. So it's really the internal process that you cannot handle. It's not the physical thing that you're in this room, that's okay, but it's your emotions that are coming up in that situation. So how to learn to trust yourself in those situations? Like self-trust is basically a way of understanding and experiencing that you can handle a situation. And the more you know that you can handle situations, the more you can trust yourself. So it's very related to self-esteem. And so how can you build this self-trust, and how can you have self-esteem to know that you can deal with any situation? So the important thing to understand is, if you don't trust yourself in certain situations, you will always trust yourself in certain situations, but you won't trust yourself in other situations. It's not that you don't trust yourself overall. You usually just don't trust yourself in certain situations, but those situations might seem important to you, so you feel like you don't trust yourself. But what is important to understand is, you will always have some things that are kind of like in your comfort zone, or that are things that you already know you can handle. And in those situations, you do trust yourself. It's only in the situations that are out of your comfort zone, that are out of what you know you can handle, that you don't trust yourself with. And so what you have to do to learn to trust yourself is to really expand this comfort zone, to expand this part of you, this ability of you to handle the situation. And how to do that is, you find out what would be an action, or what would be a situation that is a little bit out of your comfort zone. It's important to not just jump into situations that are way out of your comfort zone. It's like if you were with a helicopter, you were brought into the middle of a jungle, and you had to get your way out of the jungle. It's like, it's impossible. You have no idea where you are. You have no idea how to handle the situations there. But if you enter this jungle at the side, like at where it just starts, you can find your own way. Like, you can cut through the woods and so on. You can find your own way, and you can make it through the jungle, because you have your own, you have your steps that you can do, and you know how you get there. And that's also, if you go too much out of your comfort zone in one go, what happens is what could happen is you could develop a trauma. Because what is a trauma? A trauma is that you went so much out of your comfort zone, a situation that was so intense, and you weren't able to deal with the emotions and the thoughts in that situation. And what you did subconsciously is you suppressed all of that and you pushed it away. You completely pushed it away. And in any situation that is similar to that, it comes up again and it basically dominates you. And so to avoid having traumas is really to start to go a little bit out of your comfort zone, but still in a way that you're able to handle. And so let's say in terms of like a relationship, let's say you are jealous in your relationship and you don't trust yourself, you're really able to handle yourself in relationships, and so, or in jealous situations. And so what you do is like you step a little bit out of your comfort zone. Let's say you go to a party with your girlfriend or with your boyfriend that you would usually feel jealous about, or you would maybe allow the other person to do this or that, or maybe you do something that that brings up some jealousy, and you just sit in that situation. You allow yourself to really feel those emotions and hear those thoughts and really relax into them. It's important for you to learn to really experience that it's not the situations themselves that are daunting or dangerous for you, that seem dangerous. It's your inability to handle the emotions and thoughts that are coming up. Let's say you are at a party and your girlfriend is talking to some guy, and you will feel some jealousy. It's not the actual situation, it's you feeling the emotions. If you could completely let go of all the emotions and the thoughts about the situation, then it's just two people talking, right? But all the emotions and thoughts that are coming up is what is difficult to handle. What you can do to really expand that is to, when you feel that there's something you want to, when there's some kind of part of you that wants to run away or wants to basically not deal with the situation, try to perceive that and relax into that. So in a situation of jealousy, it could be that you want to go and take your girlfriend away or something like this. And so to try to avoid the feeling, or you try to go into another room to try to avoid seeing that. And so really start to really relax into your emotions and thoughts. Relax and really be with whatever is coming up in you inside that very moment. And so in the other example, where you have a new job and you have to hold speech in front of a lot of people, what you can do is to get out of your comfort zone and get accustomed to this is, let's say you're at lunch with your workmates, and then there's a silence, and there's all the people, they're all silent in this very moment, and you just take the lead and you say something, you start a new topic. And that is everyone listening to you, and there might be some thoughts coming up like, oh, everyone is listening to me, I'm not able to handle that, and so on. But you just do this one little step in the direction of being able to hold a speech, and you will feel those emotions, you will feel those thoughts that are also going to come up in that speech, but you're going to be able to handle them because they're not as extreme. And so in that situation at lunch, try to just feel into those feelings that are coming up. Relax into those feelings and fully allow them to be there. Really relax into this experience. Relax into all the thoughts that you're hearing. Just perceive them and relax. And really learn to be with what's going on inside of yourself without trying to either act it out or suppress it. Because this is what's happening subconsciously if you're not consciously going about those things. We are either trying to act out the emotions or thoughts, which is like, oh, I have to get out of this situation, so I don't have to do this, or I have to just try to like act out the emotions, or you completely suppress them, trying to like not feel anything. But then what happens is this energy is going to be stored and it's going to show in some ways or some way or the other. In some situations, it's going to come up again, you're going to feel anxious again, and don't even know why. That's because you suppress the emotions in some other situations. And so it's really about not acting them out, but also not suppressing them, but just being with them. As if it was like a child you were holding in your arms, kind of like this, and you would just be with this child. Maybe it's crying, or maybe it's laughing, or whatever it is doing. You're just there with this child. You're just there with those emotions, with those thoughts. You just give them room to be there, and you relax. Yeah, so this is really what you can do to build your own trust. It's understanding and experiencing that you can handle the situations in your life. You can handle what's coming up in yourself in those situations. And the more you do that, the more you start to experience that you can handle those situations, the more you know that you can trust yourself. So this is what I wanted to say today in this video. Let me know what your experience is when you apply this. What is your experience with building self-trust? And if you like the video, please hit the like button. And to see more of those videos and support my channel, please subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications to be notified for new videos that are coming out. And watch some more of my videos. This is the video that YouTube thinks you would like the most. And this is the one that I recently uploaded. So have fun watching and have a great day. Goodbye, everyone.